All right, Cowboys fans, let's jump straight into everything happening in the NFC East and beyond, because the news just keeps coming, and it's impossible to ignore how much the landscape is shifting right now. First up, the Giants have officially made a move that many saw coming, but still has ripple effects that every Dallas supporter should be paying attention to. Brian Daboll is out as the head coach, a decision that feels long overdue given the consistent pattern of blown leads and close losses. We're not talking about one or two missteps here. This is a trend that has plagued the team across multiple seasons. Under Daboll's leadership, the Giants repeatedly faltered in games they had firmly in control, and the statistics paint a very clear picture. In the current year, the team went 2-8 under his guidance, and over the last 27 games, they have only managed 5 wins. In the NFC East specifically, the record has been even more concerning, showing a combination of poor execution and inability to close out games when it mattered most. Every matchup against Dallas has been a story of near misses, particularly the overtime games where the Giants came agonizingly close but still walked away empty-handed. Even in situations where key players were absent on the Cowboys' side, the Giants failed to capitalize, which only reinforced the narrative that the organization's leadership was misaligned with the team's potential. The firing itself is one thing, but what makes this especially fascinating for Cowboys fans is the broader strategic misstep it represents. The Giants drafted a quarterback with the intention of pairing him with Daboll, and now that the head coach is gone, the general manager, Joe Schoen, remains in place. This decision is a classic example of organizational mismanagement. Instead of ensuring cohesion between the quarterback, head coach, and general manager, the pieces are now misaligned, which will likely create friction and uncertainty moving forward. It's the kind of scenario that benefits rival teams, not only in the NFC East but across the league, because it introduces instability that can carry over for multiple seasons. The implications for Dallas are significant. With New York struggling to find consistency and a clear vision, the Cowboys have an opportunity to further consolidate their position in the division. The missteps of the Giants are almost a gift in terms of divisional advantage, and it underscores why maintaining stability within an organization is crucial to sustain success in the NFL. Meanwhile, there are ongoing conversations about the development of Jackson Dart, who has shown promise but is now navigating the challenges of a changing coaching staff. The balance between his growth and the team's organizational shifts will be critical to monitor, particularly for fans who are trying to assess how much competition Dallas will realistically face in the coming seasons. On the Cowboys' side, there's always the constant need to adapt and prepare for teams like the Giants, who, even in disarray, have the talent to make a game interesting. But overall, the narrative is encouraging. The lack of alignment in New York essentially translates into opportunities for Dallas to capitalize in ways that extend beyond just one game or one season. Switching gears to other teams in the NFC, the Raiders are preparing for a matchup that comes with its own set of challenges and storylines. Monday Night Football brings attention to Las Vegas, and while Geno Smith has been battling injuries and inconsistent performance throughout the season, he remains the central figure in their offense. The offensive line, however, has been a persistent problem, with multiple key players sidelined or playing through significant injuries. The patchwork nature of the line has been exposed in recent games, particularly in the run game, which has struggled to gain traction. For the Cowboys, this represents a clear opportunity. The ability to generate pressure, exploit mismatches, and force mistakes has been a hallmark of Dallas in games where the pass rush clicks. While the consistency has fluctuated over the season, the Raiders' current personnel situation offers a favorable matchup, especially when the Cowboys can deploy 5-man fronts and get their edge rushers into positions to disrupt both the passing and running game. In terms of individual players, there's anticipation around how certain key figures will perform under these conditions. The ability to apply pressure without sacrificing coverage elsewhere will be a test for the coaching staff and a chance to showcase the depth of the roster. For fans following the playoff picture, these games carry weight, even if the Cowboys are currently sitting outside the top spots. While technically still in contention, The team faces a steep hill in terms of probability, making every divisional matchup and key non-division game crucial for momentum, confidence, and postseason positioning. Historical results from Week 10 and beyond also play a significant role in shaping this narrative. Upsets, narrow victories, and losses from other teams in the NFC East and beyond affect not only seeding, but the potential path forward for Dallas. Wins against teams like the Raiders become more than just isolated results. They influence the perception of how ready this roster is to compete at a high level and whether the Cowboys can leverage opportunities that arise from competitors faltering. At the same time, the development of young players and managing injuries are ongoing considerations. When rookies or recently drafted talent are stepping onto the field, their growth trajectory can have long-term consequences for the franchise. The Cowboys have historically balanced immediate performance with future potential, but situations like these force the coaching staff to weigh risk versus reward carefully. Overall, the landscape is shifting rapidly across the league. Every decision in New York, every injury report in Las Vegas, and every performance on the field contributes to the narrative of what this season could look like for Dallas. Fans are watching not only the games themselves, but the domino effect of organizational choices and player development. The blend of opportunity and challenge creates a dynamic environment where the Cowboys can position themselves advantageously if they continue to execute, capitalize on opponent weaknesses, and maintain focus in the division. With the season moving into critical stages, each matchup has heightened importance. Whether it is dealing with the fallout of the Giants' mismanagement, exploiting the Raiders' injuries, or navigating the complexities of playoff math, the team and fans alike are engaged in a week-to-week strategy that combines preparation, execution, and a little bit of fortune. The narratives are rich, the stakes are high, and the chance to assert dominance in the NFC East remains tangible for Dallas, especially as other teams struggle to find rhythm or stability. Every decision made by coaches, every adjustment on the field, and every player stepping up or falling short adds to a layered story that is unfolding in real time. Fans can watch the evolution of the division, anticipate challenges, and celebrate moments of opportunity, all while keeping an eye on the broader goal of securing a meaningful playoff position and setting the stage for sustained success in the seasons ahead. The Cowboys, through careful management and strategic execution, are positioned to navigate these dynamics, and the next few weeks will be telling in terms of how effectively they can leverage the current state of their rivals, adapt to challenges on the field, and maintain momentum as they push toward the postseason. This is the reality of following a team in the NFL. Every week presents new storylines, new challenges, and new opportunities for both players and fans alike. All right, let's continue diving into the storylines surrounding the Cowboys, the NFC East, and the rest of the league because there's no shortage of angles to cover as the season unfolds. Moving beyond the Giants and their ongoing organizational chaos, it's worth examining how injuries, matchups, and individual performances are shaping the narrative for Dallas and their competitors. On the Raiders' side, the offensive line has been a nightmare scenario all season. With Colton Miller on injured reserve and Jackson Powers-Johnson potentially done for the year, the left side of their line is almost entirely untested at this level. Dylan Parms is battling a high ankle sprain, and Mitchell Wren's proposed lineup highlights just how thin the depth chart has become. The patchwork units on the offensive front make it difficult for the Raiders to establish a rhythm, particularly in the running game, which has been inconsistent and underwhelming. The Cowboys' pass rush, when firing on all cylinders, is perfectly positioned to exploit these weaknesses. The ability to generate pressure up front, collapse the pocket, and disrupt timing will be key, and if the Dallas defensive line can create havoc, it could turn the game decisively in their favor. Players like OSA, Clark, and Quinish are expected to make an impact, and while consistency has been an issue over the season, the Raiders lineup gives the Cowboys favorable conditions to apply sustained pressure and capitalize on mistakes. Geno Smith's performance is another focal point. He's been inconsistent this year, and injuries have compounded the struggles, but historically, he tends to have flashes of competence in key matchups. The Cowboys' defense must be ready for those moments, maintaining discipline and preventing big plays while forcing him into situations where mistakes are inevitable. The passing game for Las Vegas will rely heavily on Tyler Lockett, who is still a dynamic weapon despite the broader offensive struggles. The ability to shut him down, or at least limit his impact, is critical to the Cowboys' defensive strategy. On the offensive side, Dallas has to continue executing efficiently. The playoff picture is tight, and every point, every first down, and every turnover could influence seeding, tiebreakers, and overall postseason prospects. The Cowboys are sitting at the 11th seed with a slim chance of making the playoffs, so each game must be treated as a must-win scenario. Week 10 brought mixed results for the broader NFC, with some outcomes helping the Cowboys indirectly while others presented new challenges. The Colts beating the Falcons in London, the Vikings losing to the Ravens, and the Panthers dropping key games all shifted potential paths for Dallas, highlighting just how interconnected results across the league are. These scenarios underscore the importance of maintaining focus and preparing meticulously for each opponent. Injuries remain a pressing concern, not only for the Raiders but also within the Cowboys' own roster. Managing player health, balancing workload, and ensuring peak performance in critical games will be crucial as the season moves into its final stages. Young players and rookies stepping into larger roles add another layer of complexity, as the coaching staff has to weigh development against immediate needs for wins. The balance between nurturing talent and pursuing playoff positioning is delicate, and Dallas must navigate it carefully to avoid both short-term and long-term setbacks. Coaching decisions also remain in the spotlight. Adjustments in play calling, defensive alignments, and offensive schemes can be the difference between a win and a loss, especially in divisional matchups where familiarity and rivalry add intensity. The Cowboys staff has to anticipate opponent tendencies while maximizing their own strengths, particularly in exploiting weaknesses in teams like the Raiders and capitalizing on instability in teams like the Giants. The playoff probability, according to next-gen stats, sits around 4%, but it's not impossible. It requires a combination of strong execution, favorable outcomes elsewhere, and seizing opportunities in key games. Losses to teams like Philadelphia, Chicago, and Carolina have complicated the path, but week-to-week success can still influence positioning and momentum. Beyond individual matchups, the larger narrative of the NFC East remains compelling. The mismanagement in New York, coupled with instability in other divisional teams, present a chance for Dallas to assert dominance, particularly if they continue to execute efficiently and capitalize on mistakes. Each win, each defensive stop, and each scoring drive adds to the momentum that could carry the Cowboys toward the postseason. Evaluating player performance, injuries, and strategy is critical. Monitoring how the Raiders' line holds up, how Geno Smith responds under pressure, and how key Cowboys defenders perform are all essential for fans and analysts alike. The ability to maintain consistency while adapting to in-game developments will likely define the Cowboys' chances in these pivotal matchups. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NFL is reportedly in a state of high alert after whispers from inside league circles suggest that the recent clash between the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys could face unprecedented scrutiny. According to sources who asked to remain anonymous, discussions behind closed doors hint at the possibility of the game being nullified, a move that would send shockwaves through the league and leave fans and analysts scrambling for answers. While the details remain murky, the speculation alone has sparked a frenzy across social media and in locker rooms nationwide. Insiders hint at irregularities that may have influenced the outcome of the contest, though specifics are scarce. Teams across the league are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, aware that any official action from the NFL could have ripple effects on playoff positioning, player morale, and contractual negotiations. Fans are naturally divided. Some are dismissing the rumors as overblown, a classic case of off-season whispers bleeding into public consciousness, while others are scouring footage and play-by-play reports, hunting for clues that might substantiate the buzz. Sports talk shows have seized the opportunity, dissecting possible scenarios and debating the league's next steps with a mixture of skepticism and excitement. Within team circles, the atmosphere is said to be tense. Coaches and front office personnel are reportedly in continuous contact with league officials, seeking clarity, while players express a mix of confusion and concern over how such a move, if it happens, would impact their season statistics, contracts, and personal legacies. The Cardinals and Cowboys themselves have yet to release official statements, but sources close to both organizations indicate that internal meetings are ongoing to assess potential outcomes. The NFL has faced controversies before, but the notion of potentially annulling a completed game is almost unprecedented in modern professional football. The mere suggestion has already reignited debates over officiating standards, league oversight, and the influence of off-field decisions on the integrity of competition. Analysts note that if the league does take decisive action, it could set a precedent affecting how future disputes are handled, possibly altering the landscape of the sport in ways fans have never seen before. As speculation mounts, the eyes of the football world remain glued to any snippet of official word. For now, the rumor mill is running at full speed, fueling debates in bars, offices, and online forums alike. Whether this leads to a historic reversal or simply fades into another layer of NFL lore remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The Cardinals-Cowboys clash is already etched in memory as one of the league's most talked about and mysterious encounters of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.